Yeah, you read that title right. Mortal Kombat's obsession with open-toed shoes has given me severe brain rot, and if I'm going down, I'm taking you all with me. So we're going to go game by game and look at every character and every time we've seen. You thought! April Fools, fools. You really saw this video on this day and thought it's real.
The first MK character's feet we ever saw, discounting non-humans, was Sonya Blade in the 1995 movie, where she has no shoes when put in her dress at the end of the film. I guess Shang Tsung meant something else when he said,
"Your soul is mine."
We also glimpsed them in her comedy render in Deadly Alliance, where she poses as a lifeguard at the beach. Johnny Cage went with bandages instead of shoes in the 3D era. His MK11 Oshtek Combat League costume includes sandals. His feet are seen in the opening documentary in his MK Legacy episode. We see one in the MKX comic. He also has feet visible in 2 of the Legends films, including Cage Match's final battle. Liu Kang is barefoot in his Brazilian costume in MKX. He is barefoot in half of his MK11 costumes, and has sandals in his Oshtek Combat League costume. His Order of Light counterpart in M1K also has sandals. He is barefoot in his introduction in the 95 movie. Raiden adopted sandals for his alternate costume in Deadly Alliance, and both costumes in Deception. He's barefoot during his operation in Legacy. Kano wore sandals in his Oshtek Combat League costume. Scorpion's feet are seen when he's naked in the Netherrealm in Scorpion's Revenge. Reptile has lizard feet on display every time he appears like that after MK4. He has open-toed shoes in base form in M1K. Goro has foot wraps in most appearances, bare feet in MK9 and his alternate 3D era costume, and open-toed boots in M1K. Shang Tsung is nude upon his resurrection in Defenders of the Realm. He has open-toed shoes in M1K. Deadly Alliance also confirms that his smell bed. While not visually depicted, Kung Lao is consistently barefoot in the Jeff Roven novel. Kuai Liang is barefoot in bed in Snowblind. Jax removes his boots as a decoy tactic in Defenders of the Realm. Kitana wears sandals in her summer costume in MK11 and all of her costumes in M1K. Melina is barefoot in her MK9 Flesh Pits costume. She has sandals in one of her MK11 costumes and all of her M1K costumes. Jade has open-toed shoes in her witch costume in MK11. Strangely, hers is the only Oshtek Combat League costume that doesn't have sandals. Baraka has been consistently in open-toed shoes, bandages or sandals since MK11. Kintaro is barefoot in MK2 and bare-pawed in all later appearances. Shao Kahn has consistently worn sandals since Deception until he got open-toed boots in M1K. Sindel wears open-toed shoes in all costumes in M1K. Ermac only has bandages on his feet in his MKX Halloween costume, and Concept Art has his toes out for another design. He has open-toed shoes in M1K. Shiva was barefoot in all appearances, with some massive fucking grippers in Armageddon, Jesus Christ, before she gained open-toed shoes in MK11. But her classic costume is still barefoot. Motaro has hooves out in both forms. Serena has open-toed shoes in M1K. Tanya has open-toed shoes in M1K. Reiko has open-toed shoes in M1K. Meat is barefoot in both skeleton and flesh forms. Kenshi is barefoot in his alternate Deadly Alliance costume. Borai Cho adopted foot bandages in Deception and sandals in MKX. Li Mei wears Geta in her Deadly Alliance costume. She wears open-toed shoes in all forms in M1K. Her comedy render in Deadly Alliance confirms her shoe size is 6, presumably US, making her a size 4 in the UK and 36 to 7 in the EU, which makes them 8.9 inches or 22.5 centimeters long. Look at what you did to me. Frost has a variant of her original costume in the concept art where she has no shoes. Nitara has open-toed shoes in M1K. Dramin is always barefoot. Moloch is always barefoot. Blaze is barefoot in both humanoid and boss form. Havoc has open-toed shoes in M1K. He is also Dairu here, so that applies to him too. Cobra is barefoot in his primary costume. Onaga has weird dragon feet. Jackie Briggs' feet are partly visible in her alternate costume in MK11 and were more overtly visible in the concept art. Kotal Khan almost always wears foot wraps or sandals. Devora has weird high heel feet in MKX and bug feet in MK11. She actually has human feet under her bug feet in 11. Pharaoh wears stirrups in her canonical costume. Tor wears open-toed boots in 2 of his costumes. Collector is always barefoot. Geras is barefoot in his Order of Darkness costume in M1K. Cetrion has open-toed shoes in her Halloween costume and was barefoot in a lot of the concept art. Kronika wears sandals in MK11. She is barefoot after her defeating Geras' ending, which has disturbing implications regarding Liu Kang's vision for the universe in M1K. And needless to say, I'm not counting fusions from M1K, nor non-game characters. No babies, you sick fuck. Bihan, Kung Lao, Smoke, Striker, Cabal, Nightwolf, Sector, Cyrax, Rain, Chameleon, Kai, Fujin, Jarek, Quan Chi, Shinnok, Tremor, Movado, Suhao, Mocap, Shujinko, Darius, Hotaru, Ashra, Kira, Taven, Dagon, Scarlet, Cassie Cage, Kung Jin, Takeda, and Eren Black have never had theirs seen. Here's the ratio so far. Finally, it's over. The brain rot has subsided, and I can now move on with my life until they add the next batch of costumes with open-toed shoes that they expect us to pay a fucking tenner for. That guy on the art team needs to cease, before he dooms us all. If you liked this video, why not subscribe and support me on Patreon like these fine people here? If not, then make sure to share it with your enemies so they can suffer along with you. Today's recommended video is The Real Problems with Mortal 1 Kombat's Retro Skins by me, because this is one of the problems, but there are many more.